Sowing the seeds of Christ. This is what we, as Orthodox Christians, are called to do in our daily lives. Through prayer, through our work, through our interaction with others, we must be living and growing examples of God's love for others to see and emulate. Within the 7 states of Alaska, Arizona, California, Hawaii, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington, served by the Greek Orthodox Metropolis of San Francisco, thousands of Greek Orthodox faithful are doing the work of the Lord. They are sowing the seeds of Christ. This is being accomplished through many vital ministries which address the spiritual, educational, cultural, physical, emotional, and social needs of this vibrant flock led by His Eminence Metropolitan Gerasimos of San Francisco.
The Metropolis of San Francisco has always been known for its steadfast pursuit of the faith and the commitment to our youth and ministry, and the dynamic growth of our parishes in response to the needs of our faithful. It is through our ministries that we're able to reach out from the metropolis and to touch the lives of people of all ages and bring them closer to God and to His abundant love and mercy.
The geographic area served by the metropolis of San Francisco is vast, covering 1.2 million square miles, which is nearly 1/3 of the entire United States. There is no easy way to bring people together over such broad distances, but through a diverse offering of ministries, the metropolis of San Francisco reaches into parish communities and into the homes of our faithful stewards to bring them spiritual fulfillment and enrichment. Programs like Christian formation and religious education provide the backbone of instruction for people of all ages. This not only includes the traditional teaching of youth on Sundays, but expanding educational programs beyond just the classroom to include online web teleconferences where people participate in lectures and seminars from the comfort of their homes and personal computers. This is yet another innovative way to bring the vastness of our metropolis closer together and make resources readily available to all those who desire to further their knowledge of our faith and deepen their commitment to living a life dedicated to Christ. Likewise, the Spiritual Renewal Organization of the Metropolis is providing regional events to further develop programs facilitating spiritual growth, including a new Family Night Ministry program designed to encourage quality time between parents and children for conversation, prayer, and worship. Music is an integral component of our worship and brings with it our beliefs and theology. Each parish has a music program designed to add beauty and expression to our vast liturgical services. Supporting these efforts on the metropolis level is the Church Music Federation, a ministry devoted to the preservation and perpetuation of our rich Byzantine music history. Whether it is providing resources for Byzantine chant, congregational singing, adult or youth choirs, the goal of the Federation is to make sure that each parish has access to the very best music to meet its individual needs. Through trainings and annual conferences, church musicians have the opportunity to improve their skills and thus elevate the worship services. School-aged youth are showing a strong interest in singing and learning Byzantine music, and special programs are offered by the Federation to encourage their participation. The Great Commission of Christ to go forth and make disciples of all nations is the guiding force behind the work of the Commission on Orthodox Missions and Evangelism. There are mission parishes in nearly every state of the metropolis which are reaching into new areas of growth and bringing the gospel to more and more Orthodox Christians. Through generous contributions, our mission parishes receive funding support to assist them in establishing new communities until such time they can support their basic operational needs and the services of a full-time priest.
In order for the Orthodox Church in this country to continue to grow, we must look further into the future than just the next year or two. We must look 5, 10, and even 20 or 30 years down the road. We must anticipate the needs of our faithful and be prepared to respond to them. Through the establishment of mission communities, we have the ability to create new parishes that are filled with stewards who truly understand the need to give unselfishly of their time, their talent, and treasure for the glory of God. We must do the same with our ministries. We cannot be satisfied with what has been offered to our congregations over the past 50 years. We must be responsive to the times and provide the spiritual nourishment needed by our people so that we can be the beacons of God's love for others to emulate.
At the cornerstone of the Metropolis of San Francisco is a wide variety of youth programs for all ages and interests. All of these programs are designed to bring youth and young adults closer to Christ while instilling in them the importance of becoming the future leaders of our church. The Office of Youth and Family Ministries for the Metropolis plans many special youth activities throughout the year, including youth rallies, Lenten retreats, young adult ski weekends, altar boy retreats, sports tournaments, and many other activities designed to bring youth closer to the Lord. The Metropolis of San Francisco also actively promotes the St. John Chrysostom Oratorical Festival at the parish, regional, metropolis, and archdiocesan levels. Through the efforts of the Eastern Orthodox Committee on Scouting, several parishes have coordinated Boy Scout troops to teach young men important leadership skills, service to the community, and environmental education. One of the oldest and most popular ministries is the Folk Dance and Choral Festival, which has a rich history of popularity and excellence. Each year, thousands of youth come together for a spiritual and exciting weekend to celebrate their Orthodox faith and Hellenic culture in traditional Greek dance and song. Over 30 years in existence, FDF has become one of the world's largest Greek dance ministries, bringing hundreds of families and communities together year after year, teaching faith through dance and prayer. The FDF program has been a pillar in the long list of wonderful ministries of the Metropolis and will undoubtedly continue to flourish in the future. Summer camp is a great way for youth in the Metropolis to learn about their faith, become immersed in daily worship, and meet others who share the same beliefs, values, and culture. Summer camp is a week of fun, fellowship, and faith building, where campers participate in campfires, theater, music, hiking, pool time, Olympics, athletics, Orthodox challenge sessions, and much more. Campers are also offered a rich liturgical experience with daily Orthros and Vesper services and a weekly Divine Liturgy. For more than 25 years, St. Nicholas Ranch, near Fresno, California, has served as home to the Metropolis Summer Camp. The Metropolis also now proudly offers 5 additional regional camps serving the areas of Southern and Northern California, Oregon, Washington, and Arizona.
Youth ministry is vital to the future of the Greek Orthodox Church. We must engage the next generation in the ministries of the Church and establish within them a solid foundation of faith. It brings us such joy to see our kids embrace their faith and culture through FDF and to witness the results of their tireless work preparing dances and songs. The Metropolis Youth Office has a wide array of programs, and there is something for everyone. The church should be the social place for our kids. It is a loving and safe environment, and we must do everything we can to keep our children connected to the church, as they are the ones to preserve the faith for generations to come.
The Metropolis Office of Greek Education and Culture works with our parishes to establish Greek language schools and to provide curriculum resources, teacher trainings, and regional workshops. Plans are being developed for a Greek language immersion camp for students and adults. The Metropolis of San Francisco also actively participates in the celebration of Greek Independence Day, having established and promoted Hellenic Cultural Week, culminating with an annual parade in San Francisco. This ministry also works diligently to develop programs which impart historical knowledge of our Hellenic heritage, values, and traditions so that we will always honor and cherish our ancestry. It is of paramount importance to the Metropolis of San Francisco that these programs be supported and cultivated, as the preservation of our Hellenic heritage and traditions must be maintained for future generations. The work of the Ladies Philoptochos Society is truly the heart of the gospel. These dedicated women are the doers of the works of the Lord by showing compassion, care, love, and giving shelter to those in need. The Metropolis of San Francisco Philoptochos is exemplary in all these areas with such innovative programs as Kids in Cancer, which now offers 5 camps throughout the West for children with cancer and their families. Through vision and foresight many years ago, Philoptochos established the Bishop Anthony Philoptochos Seminary and Student Aid Endowment Fund, which provides substantial funding for young men and women from the Metropolis of San Francisco who are pursuing higher education at Hellenic College Holy Cross Greek Orthodox School of Theology as future clergymen and lay leaders. Personal spiritual growth for Philoptochos members is provided through various retreats and workshops offered throughout the year, as well as an annual Women's Health and Wellness Symposium. The Family Wellness Center Ministry is a new program initially funded through a generous grant from the Archbishop Iakovos Leadership 100 Endowment Fund, and is designed to create relevant programs for the spiritual, emotional, and psychological wellness of the faithful of the Metropolis of San Francisco. Orthodox Christians struggle to lead a Christ-centered life while living in a largely secular society rife with compromised morals, substance abuse, and the breakdown of the family unit. The marriages and families of our clergy often suffer the same fates as those of their parishioners: marital dissatisfaction, divorce, troubled children, and substance abuse. Special attention is being paid to programs which address the needs of the clergy and their families, offering them support, strength, and guidance in Christ to enrich their personal lives and their ministries. The Family Wellness Center will provide a safe environment to address challenges and a place to turn in personal and family crisis and to nurture spiritual growth. The Family Wellness Center is more than a program, more than a committee, more than a building. Rather, it seeks to offer a new and holistic way of looking at all the ministries and activities of the Church.
When we talk about wellness, people immediately think of their own physical well-being, but as a church, we have to look at the whole person and ultimately one's soul. We are created in God's image, so we must realize that true wellness is experienced when one's priority is to be connected to our Lord, when one lives according to God's commands and truly desiring Christ to be their GPS navigating system guiding their lives to His eternal kingdom. Christ is our hospital, our physician, and our medicine. We have to ask the hard questions of how we will change, how we can be healed. I believe we must be more proactive and intentional in igniting the souls of our parishioners to help create exciting programs and services to respond to issues like how to live an Orthodox life in the 21st century, grief and bereavement, cancer, AIDS, divorce, addictions, mental illness and depression, and abuse. Through the Family Wellness Ministry, the Metropolis is working to boldly respond to these issues by creating program models that can be replicated in our parishes and, God willing, throughout the whole Archdiocese.
St. Nicholas Ranch and Retreat Center is a ministry that was established in 1979, and since that time has been a place of renewal, relaxation, and spiritual growth for the thousands of adults and youth who have experienced the tranquility of this retreat center. Nestled in the foothills of Kings Canyon National Park, St. Nicholas Ranch is home to the Metropolis of San Francisco Summer Camp, parish retreats, family camps, and trainings for our ministry leaders. Covering nearly 300 acres, it is the perfect place to experience God's creation and contemplate His presence in our lives. From the majestic and historic barn which stands at the entrance to the ranch, to the inviting aromas of home-cooked meals, guests are immersed in an environment which blends nature, faith, culture, and education into a life-changing experience. St. Nicholas Ranch is also the only Orthodox retreat center in the United States which sits adjacent to an Orthodox monastery. The Monastery of the Theotokos, the life-giving spring, is home to 18 nuns and novices who have offered their lives to Christ. Guests at St. Nicholas Ranch are encouraged to include frequent visits to the monastery as part of their journey to experience contemplation, prayer, and worship. The monastic expression of Orthodoxy can also be found in Goldendale, Washington, at the Monastery of St. John the Forerunner, where 18 nuns and novices pray and work throughout the day. They also offer a special summer retreat for young girls to introduce them to the discipline of monastic life and to emphasize the importance of daily prayer. In the desert of Arizona is a spiritual oasis at St. Anthony Monastery, which is home to more than 40 monks. The largest and most extensive monastic community in the United States, these monks have contributed greatly to the availability of Byzantine music and offer a place of refuge for pilgrims from throughout the world. The charge and commitment of monastics to pray for Orthodox Christians throughout the world is a true blessing to us all.
The Metropolis of San Francisco, a part of the Greek Archdiocese of America, is blessed to have such a diverse offering of ministries which are designed to reach people of all ages and at all stages in life. We have the true faith, a rich tradition, and we must keep diligent, both individually and collectively as Orthodox Christians, to serve the Church by sharing of the many blessings that each of us has received from the Lord. I know that with cultivation and with prayer, we will be sowing the seeds of Christ, from which we will reap a bountiful harvest.